Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. If you've been paying attention to the blockchain space, you know there's this massive, multi-billion-dollar wall literally keeping institutional capital locked out. It's like a ceiling we just haven't been able to break through. Well, today, we're looking at how a brand new network called Midnight is aiming to tear that wall down entirely. Enter Midnight. Now, the team behind this describes it as the regulatory compliant connective tissue for the future. Sounds fancy, right? But basically, it's a new technology fundamentally designed to bring programmable privacy and actually usable tokenomics to the masses. It's not just another coin. It's a massive structural upgrade to how ledgers actually operate. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll be looking at the institutional wall, fixing economics, programmable privacy, the Midnight Passport UX, real-world applications, and finally, the invisible future. Section 1, the institutional wall and why big money is sidelined. Look, the reality of the blockchain industry today is that it's kind of exhausted the crypto-curious retail crowd. The money is just moving around in a big circle. To really grow, we absolutely need institutional capital. But big business is basically frozen by three massive roadblocks. First off, there's a total lack of confidentiality. Transparent ledgers mean every single corporate trade secret is out there for everyone to see. Second, the economics are unpredictable. Highly volatile tokens make long-term business planning, well, pretty much impossible. And third, the user experience is terrible. Complex seed phrases are just alienating normal users. To put this into perspective, imagine being Dan Singelman, a former hedge fund chief investment officer. He tells this story where he receives a $2 billion wire at 9 a.m. on a Friday, and he's told to put it to work by noon. The only people who knew were him, his custodian, and his back office. Massive corporate actions like that require absolutely total confidentiality. And honestly, that is completely impossible on today's fully transparent public blockchains, where automated bots essentially dox every wallet's activity in real time. You just cannot run a billion-dollar enterprise in complete public view. No way. Moving on to Section 2, fixing economics and resolving the broken tokenomics model. Okay, imagine walking into an Apple store. You wouldn't buy a brand new iPhone using Apple stock, right? Because Apple shares are a long-term investment. Their price fluctuates wildly throughout the day. Instead, you pay in fiat currency, like dollars or euros, because that gives you certainty of cost. Yet current blockchains force businesses to cannibalize the exact asset they want to appreciate, the network token itself, just to pay for daily network transactions. It doesn't make any sense. So how do we actually fix this? Well, Midnight solves it by separating the investment asset from the utility currency. And this is a huge deal. By decoupling the token you invest in from the token you use to pay gas fees, Midnight actually gives institutions fixed, predictable operational costs. If you're sitting on a corporate board making a 5 or 10-year plan, you absolutely must have forward price predictability. You can't budget for your supply chain software if the cost to run it might 10x overnight. Section 3, Programmable Privacy. Moving beyond the surveillance state. Now, it is super important to understand that Midnight isn't some shadow coin designed to hide from governments. Instead, it introduces something called programmable privacy, or night mode. Think of it kind of like accessing your banking app today. Your data is private, but if a regulator requires it, the information can be compliantly shared. On Midnight, users can selectively prove specific criteria, like, say, proving they are of a certain age or that they have a specific credit rating to gateway into a transaction. And they can do all of this while keeping the underlying raw data completely off the public ledger. To really grasp why this matters, consider the catastrophic real-world risks of ignoring privacy. Back in the 2010s, the Ashley Madison dating site was hacked. Users thought they were anonymous, right? But their accounts were linked to standard transparent credit card payments, which linked directly back to their real names and real addresses. When the site was hacked, that exposure resulted in doxing, massive lawsuits, and ruined lives. It basically proves that giving users a private incognito mode for their digital lives is a necessity, not just a luxury. Linking transparent payment data to sensitive personal choices is an absolute recipe for disaster. Which brings us to Section 4, Midnight Passport UX, making blockchains simple. Okay, so we have privacy and predictable economics, but we also have to eliminate the terrifying, fragmented process of writing down 24-word seed phrases. The answer here is the Midnight Passport. It basically acts as the ultimate UX fix. Step 1. It removes seed phrases entirely, using familiar proven tech like passkeys or Face ID. Step 2. It wipes out confusing gas fee friction. If you hold the network token, you can transact freely, or you can use other assets to cover fees without scrambling to an exchange. And Step 3. It creates a universal digital profile. You log in once, and it just works seamlessly across all decentralized apps on the network, exactly like the seamless Web 2 experiences we are all used to. Let's dive into Section 5, Real-World Applications. Moving beyond decentralized finance. The versatility here is literally massive when we move beyond just crypto trading. Take healthcare, for example. Women can privately qualify for period poverty assistance, proving they need help without publicly doxing themselves and facing that stigma. In dating, even sugar daddy apps, you can have verified proof of personhood, height, or even wealth without ever exposing your true identity to scammers. In the supply chain world, an oil tanker can privately prove its GPS location and weight draft to a harbor master to dynamically pay port duties via stablecoins, all without broadcasting its valuable cargo details to the world. And in corporate finance, you could literally tokenize the specific free cash flows of a factory building Toyota Corollas and pass those returns directly to investors. And our final section, number 6, the invisible future, the connective tissue of tomorrow. Look, the future of blockchain isn't about everyday users actively opening wallets and trading tokens. It's really about becoming invisible connective tissue. Think of the global air traffic control system. It's this invisible ticketing mesh that allows a ticket from Virgin to work seamlessly on Delta or Air France. Or think about your Uber app. When you order a ride, you aren't thinking about the Google Maps API, the GPS tracking, or the encrypted credit card databases. It just silently coordinates all of it in the background. Midnight aims to be that exact same kind of ubiquitous, invisible privacy layer that runs our lives seamlessly underneath the apps we use every single day. As we wrap up this explainer, we want to leave you with a really provocative thought straight from the source material. As our physical lives transition entirely into the digital space, the amount of data we generate is immense. If there is ever a point where an entity holds an eraser and can retroactively change the rules of the game, altering your bank account, your medical records, or your digital identity, who do you want holding that power? If we don't demand the immutable, programmable privacy that blockchains like Midnight offer, who will ultimately own and control the permanent record of your data? It is absolutely a question we all need to be asking as we build the next iteration of the internet.